cute. When my TopStep accounts reset, I didn't even know I still had it. multiplier to 2, does that mean every time I take one with like regular risk, it'll just double the risk?
It'll double the contracts.
Double the contracts?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
What? I don't know what you're doing. Like, fish. All right, what's up, y'all? Let's get it going. Live. Gerardo, what's good? Buenos dias. What's up, Joe? What up, Caius? Gabriel, buenos dias, buenos dias. Tenemos aquí a Melara, Daniel, Patrick, Harshi. What's up, Nick? Congrats on that stop profit on gold. Happy Friday, Brandon. How you doing, brother? We got Mr. Von Wick, Professor. My apologies. Kazakhstan in the house. Buenos dias, Maya. What's up, Marty? Yes, sir. Let's get these markets. Yo, yo. All right, what's up, Johnny, Carlos, Zoe, Rafa, Julian. Hi. Hello. Hey there. All right, guys. Hope you're hydrated. Hope you got your coffee or your tea, or maybe just you got some oxygen. You know, some good old oxygen. Let's get it, y'all. So as we approach these beautiful markets today, these ever so elegant candlesticks here. I was considering a NQ short. We were seeing higher highs, higher lows. We break above here briefly. We get below this level. We come down here and then we kind of come back up relatively quickly. So I wasn't in love with the structure break, especially because we've been so bullish. And then on top of that, Dow is just an S&P. They're not bearish at all. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have to sell this. It's just not great. So chilling out. You got your Zinachino going. Enjoy. Oil bots. All right, so yeah, we've seen metals recover pretty aggressively. And then oil kind of keeps spiking down and then coming up, spiking down again. So is this it? Is this the last push getting below, this one from an hour ago? Starting to squeeze a bit, so we have this sweep, little squeeze. We're definitely sitting at lows here, right? We've broken to these lows now several times, taking out Thursdays, so yesterday's New York session low, poking below once, now twice. So I get it, I see it, and it's trading kind of similar to, like, everything is in this similar reversal zone. So the only difference I guess you could say is, if you think indices are going to short from here, which they could, then that oil setup makes sense. And then you are looking at, for example, something like gold. Gold took out some liquidity, came back up, dropped right away. So it didn't break structure up here, didn't really break structure down here either. You see another sweep of the high. The market tries to go lower, fails to make these lows. So, and then silver, it takes out liquidity here, eats it all back up, and then also is struggling to stay up in this range. So if metals are going to drop, indices have, oil has potential to pop up too. I think it just kind of depends on when it makes that pullback, what looks most favorable to you, to be fair. This sell that I was looking at for NQ, I mean, I see it, but I look at this on the 15 and this looks more like a liquidity sweep than it does a change in direction. It looks like it just comes down and back up. So it's just not great. The 1 hour, 4 hour, like you'll see how these end up just being a wick. So yeah, I don't know, like, I'm not fully convinced. So I'm gonna let the market kind of unfold here. Maybe I'll play this one a little bit more cautious, and then if we do see a play here, then I'll be more open to it. But I'll wait it out a little bit. Maybe there's a pullback and something makes more sense. But I'm chilling. Thing's hot. Alright, we're gonna have to wait a little bit there. Alright. Close that. No high impact news today as well, so we're kind of just sitting back. Bitcoin here, just giving a bit of perspective. Bitcoin's kind of just in a range back and forth as well. I see shorts with Bitcoin possible later, like up in this range. So we'd have to climb back into 77,000, kind of 700 range. And even here, same thing. The breaks below are pretty weak. So, yeah, just kind of boring. I don't think I'm gonna be, jumping into the market right away. I know we had a spike down here during London session with Dow. You see a nice push to the downside before the continuation. So this is basically what happens over here. So Dow tells a very clear story on how it sweeps and rallies over here. And then this was interesting. Did anyone catch this? So this oil here, I think there was an NZD news or something, but Oil spiked me down and tagged me in, and then but CL was not as aggressive. Right, this one spiked down, boom. But this one was, so like the extra micro that just went below that tagged me in, so that was really convenient. And then we had the liquidity sweep here. So depending on where you were working your take profit, this kind of got you over to here somewhere. So I ended up moving my stop once we took these highs, and then just ended up getting stopped in like right out of profit before it kept going a little higher. But so that was a good trade, playing out of here. And now the way we're seeing this go, once it took out some liquidity, it decided, nah, we're still bearish. So it's still pushing a little bit lower, making one more push to the downside. And at this point, we've cleared out all the way to May 14th. So when we go back 8 days, play out of the lows, and that's kind of where we're at now. So if we get a clear break above these highs, I could see us having a buy setup here later in this area. So let's see how this unfolds. We have the big push down, another drop. If we build up more liquidity here, then maybe we'll have the shakeout. But I think the buys are really, they have potential over here. It's just a matter of having the right conditions so that I'll take this. Yo, Mike, Greg got funded. Let's go, Greg. Man, y'all going crazy. Like it. Keep it up, y'all. That's like 10 people getting funded this week. So yeah, let's see market open. I think the fun's gonna happen after things get started over here. So we might have a Dow buy over here. We'll kind of see how.
Yeah, read Mondo.
And then we have, okay, so regarding metals, I have to zoom out a little bit. So my thoughts are that we didn't mitigate here. We got close, but we didn't. We missed by a little bit. We then also have silver that did take out some of these, took out this low over here. But it has a huge spike down. So I think what can happen and how this can play out is I feel like we're going to end up breaking below these lows with gold and silver or silver, and that'll trigger buys down here. So getting back to Wednesday's New York session lows, or Tuesday's Asian session lows, I think this is where we're going to end up having buys. So if we're going to, work our way down to these levels, then we should have a short somewhere, right? Liquidity sweep, take out some of this money, maybe play over it up into here. Here's where we had that last push, right? Last push up here. And then the market, this is where we took a sell. So if you guys had this mapped out, remember during the session, we broke this down. We had a possible sell zone over here. And then this did end up triggering and playing out for us. I ended up catching a 2.5R. We also broke this down in the school community. So yeah, it was good. Great trade. Let me know in the chat. Put a GC in the chat if you took gold shorts yesterday. Were able to get something out of here. But yeah, I feel like we can sweep some liquidity, play into this range before we get something. And silver has an interesting move that it made yesterday, where we had a huge spike up right here, and then everything started to do its thing. So, all right, now we got that going. Indices. So we had NQ did do the spike, the mitigation. Where it's going to be the bare minimum or not, I guess we're about to find out. From there we have, let's see, metals, initial drop, oil pushing a little bit. All right. Natural gas. Good thing I'm glad I got out of this one. I wasn't supposed to be in that one. Actually, I don't think I ended up changing the contracts. Silly me. NGN. Not Neutrogene. MNGN. Isn't Neutrogena like a skin company or something?
Like face wash and stuff.
Face washes. Natural gas it is actually working its way into a zone here. So let's take, I know this is don't trade this too often, but I like the extremes. Trading out of the extremes always looks good to me. Higher probability of success. So let's dive in where we can kind of see where and what happened here. So some liquidity sweep, some support, and then the market just rips from like right here, huh? Okay. Yeah. I'm so thirsty. I don't know. I think there's salt, dude. There we go. Oh yeah, that coffee hit. Woo! All right, so natural gas. If you get a little movement over here, I think we could have some fun. There's a lot of support over here. 3.03 prior to the sweep. So higher time frame wise, this looks like a high probability reversal right around the open. And then you have, even just playing this in balance is good work there. 2.5, something like. Something like this. If we want to get into more detail over here and you want to refine it a little bit more, you could go back to this area, and then whether it's how money comes in on the way down or on the way up. But here you kind of have the last push down before it just absolutely rips. That puts you at 3.021, 022. And I'm okay with that. I'm down. 3.022. That makes this risk reward much more attractive. All right, natural gas. The micro? No, I want the NG. I'm shopping at Big Lots today. I used to live there.
Why are moms all the same?
Moms are all the same. Latina moms are just, we're all one big circle. I want all the smoke, y'all. All right, oil just did something. Un momento. So I got 3. All right, where are you at, oil? All right, oil is spiking up, filling this imbalance on the fly. Tight. Yeah. All right, so that's pushing higher. That means these must be going lower. No, they're not. Oh, interesting. Is that right? Dow going lower. Oh, we got a mixed bag today. It's a little salad type of green and red on NQ and Dow. All right, so they're moving in opposite directions, which means if we have Dow work its way down to here, then I would be open to buying. And then NQ pulled all the way back up to here. That wants to drop, maybe. Metal still squeezing. Oil took the high, but then got tired. went memes. So targeted liquidity imbalance, that was its intention. That was like the motive to get to these levels, but it doesn't appear like this is a higher high. So if this were to go work its way down to that area we marked up earlier, if it were to get there like immediately, no trade. No trade because this doesn't prove an uptrend. It doesn't pull its bullish structure. Okay, so here, oh, moved my neck a little too quickly there. Okay, so with natural gas over here, where is this thing? I gotta move this over here. Okay, there we go. So energies are moving. Trying to push. Oil running out of steam. Silver still slowly grinding its way down along with gold. Dow also going lower, and Q going higher. All right, so I'm gonna get ready for this over here. I'm looking for an entry here, pretty tight, honestly. We've seen a lot of support over here, so I think we can get down to this area. And then RR wise, we got room. Go for a little 5R today. Just something light. Nothing else. And Q breaking the high, so cool. Avoided anything here. Avoided the L. Let's go. I'm gonna set up here. Wait, hold on. Make sure you guys double check your copy traders. Make sure everything's all good. Everything's ready to roll. Okay, good there. So yeah, this isn't as exciting right now. Like, we're in consolidation, so at some point, I'm sure in the next hour or so, a direction will be chosen. Dow is slowly working its way down, which is cool. And so let's look at some currencies. Let's see if we have anything lining up over here. This already did its thing, so I can just move that over there. Australian in its just consolidation in a range. Not necessarily giving any entries here. The pound slowly pushing higher, just keeps sweeping highs. So GBP here, 6B, lining up with potential shakeout setup here. So the pound could sell off again. It's just swept liquidity. Shows that the market doesn't have enough heat to stay above here. So this was solely to take out retail sellers and just works its way right back in. So looking for a sell in this range makes sense. If we get another spike up, really anywhere in this, I can definitely see it. So like I don't know if anyone sees something similar over here. Something like this could be promising. And then either take it to imbalance fill, so make it super easy, super quick. With the squeeze that we're seeing, I think there's a chance that at least you get the break below here. And then the more you zoom out, the better you'll be able to see, okay, where are you in the range? We saw the market create imbalance over here. So it takes it out a little bit here and there. And then you have a trend line that's been forming over here. So it's starting to form out over here. It depends on how you perceive like the market's moving here, but something like this. So a break through this would also be a great place to take some profit, just seeing it kind of clear out. So yeah, let's I'm gonna place an alert here. If we start to get push a little bit more aggressive, then we could be good to go for a sell. And then if I were to take, I don't really, let me do something here real quick, y'all. Let me take a second here. Oh, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna. You guys, let's see. But do you guys remember when I traded CL instead of MCL, right? So yeah, I ended up taking massive losses, and that affected a handful of accounts. So and then from there, I think it was like a couple days later, I broke the consistency rule, so I went way past it. So not only did I go backwards, but then I went forwards, but too big. So with the 150Ks on, Tradeify instant funding, you need to have a 20% consistency rule. So what that means is, typically you can make max like 1,800 in a day, and if you do that, then your profit target is about 9,000. But I went and made like 3K in a day. So if it's 20% consistency rule, that means I need to make 15K profit for the payout. And so, long story short, that account is at like 163 now. So after grinding that bad boy out, we're getting close. We're getting close. It's the challenge. It's the challenge of these prop fair games. It's really what excites me. Interesting. Gold the liquidity sweep here. Gold takes out these lows from London session, not Tokyo session, just London. And silver playing into where we've seen a lot of support. Okay. Not really setups for me. Yeah, like nothing I could have taken, but maybe we get something later. Like gold may turn into a shakeout. That could be valuable. I see, how we had the sweep here. If silver would have traded up here for longer, then I would have been very open to this buy on silver. I would have loved to take a buy there, but that was not the case. However, silver ports today, silver full ports on the cup account for sure. Okay, so check it out. Oil, it came down aggressively, but it bounced right back up. So the structure on oil actually could set in, and this can be a great mitigation trade. So if we can keep trading up here, because now we've been up here for 11 minutes or so, then I could be open for this buy on oil. Okay. It's possible. Structure here breaking from the last hour, so we're definitely getting above. Whereas gold and silver here kind of figuring themselves out. So we started to sell off. Here's the 1 minute on gold. We started to sell off from here. Market immediately came back up. We've been moving sideways for 3 minutes, like 3-4 minutes now. If this were to spike right away down to these areas for buy positions, I think it's a little less likely to play out. But if we can have this kind of roll out like this, whether it is just sideways or even if it's a little higher, whatever, then a spike down could hold up. Otherwise, if you were be open to taking this, but silver, let's say, is giving you just better price action, then you know silver's the one to take. So yeah, just being mindful. At the end of the day, you do still have this Asian low over here, this Tokyo low. So we can definitely still go here. So let's let the market prove it to us, right? We don't gotta rush nothing. And then indices. Okay, so S&P overall kind of just slowly working its way up. Dow pushed down, came right back up. Okay. And then NQ took out the highs very briefly, wanting to trade up there. And then you have the spike here that traded into liquidity. Let me take a look at NQ itself as well, just to compare. NQ spike. Yeah, I mean, this is all just equal lows. So if we start getting below New York Open on NQ, then maybe there's something to look at here. There's definitely like the last push down before it reverses. So obviously there's potential reversals with NQ. However, even when it broke this high, it didn't maintain it too long. So I think we got to keep context into play here with indices. But the YM buy off of that London low is what still looks more clear here. Okay, so take a look at gold, right? Gold very quickly working its way lower. Is this enough for a position? It's not convincing enough for me. So I'm not taking it. The sweep was decent, but not enough heat for me. So I'm gonna chill that on that one. Could it play out? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's got a shot. But is it a great setup? Because that's a different question. And a great setup, I wouldn't put it in that category. So could it play out? Yeah. But is it worth any of my money? Is it worth any of my money? Do you feel like you have an advantage in this situation, or you have an edge? And it's a very simple question to ask yourself, but it's a valid question. And this might be a good way to really conceptualize the game, like what trading really is. And in my opinion, the trader that positions themselves with an advantage, and I know it sounds so obvious, but the trader that like understands, okay, when I see these types of things in the market, when these conditions are happening, I feel like I have an advantage more than when they're not. And at that point, I think that's when your money should be at play. Because at the end of the day, like that's what we're doing, right? We're taking advantage of where we see higher probability opportunities. Where it's like, okay, here in these moments, I have something that typically I don't, right? There's an edge, right? We talk about that. You guys have heard of that idea often. So, yeah. Ask yourself, like, do I really have an advantage here, or do I want to make money here? Anyone taking silver buys? Like the 1 minute break is very weak. We're only up here for a couple minutes, so I don't love it. I took a little shot at this with the cup account, just because I gotta make like $4,000 right now throughout the course of the day for this one. So I'm willing to be a little looser. Not even now. It looks like $5,000. Gotta be at 12K to hit 1,000. They running the bag. Yo, let me catch up. So we'll see if we get it. But yeah, this wasn't worth like my actual money. DGen accounts only. All right, so metals are pushing. Oil is doing great. So oil's at this next level of imbalance fills. Is this, even though we have been more bearish, right? We've been, we clear the highs, the market moves its way down. Do you guys see opportunities for sells with oil? Like, would you sell because of how the market's moved here? This is London high, so you definitely see, right, money come in here, pumps up. You see it kind of chop up and down, just in and out, in and out. So I don't really see the mitigation the same way we typically do here. Market looks pretty efficient. So it's not really giving me sells as much as I'm sure, as much as I would want to trade. I prefer just consistent, high probability opportunities. So yeah, now that we've been up here with oil for about 20 minutes, even if oil does reverse, this setup looks a lot more clear to me. And then you could ask yourself, is there a better, like, let's say you're kind of looking at oil and you're like, I feel like this is going to reverse, but I just don't have my type of entry opportunity. Then that's when you can look at other assets and go, okay, cool. Then are there other assets that are correlated or inverse correlated that do have setups? And right now, not so much. Not like right now. So the trade that is playing out, it looks like here, is NASDAQ's New York Open. Looks like it bounced right out of here. So here you had NQ, New York Open with the spike down. Get a little bit of a move here. Not something I'd bet on, so no trade from me there. And something I want to add here is just remember, like, for example, this week has been really busy. Like, there's been a lot of trades, a lot of really good setups. And I think where trading goes wrong is you think every day is going to be the same. Or you want it to be, you just want it to be. Because whether it's fun, whether it's you just, the P&L moving in general is just like, oh, cool. Like, I'm moving forward with my trading. But you build yourself as a trader when you're able to stay out of the market more. It takes more out of you to reject a possibility than anything else. Like, it's easy to be in the market because everything is triggering you to get in. But the person that can say no, the person that qualifies best, that's the one that not just makes money over time, but keeps money over time. And I don't know about y'all, but I like to keep it. I think keeping it is great. I feel like we might want to prioritize that part just a little more often. Some of you asked or said you were looking at something. CAD buys? Was that what? I think Lanza said something about CAD buys. Yeah, we're almost there. I've been waiting for this one since last month. From here, yen kind of poked in. This has got more to go. And then Swiss. Someone said something about Swiss as well. So the Swiss kind of broke below. Oh, it took out liquidity. Okay, I see. It looks like it kind of traded into equal highs. I can't quite tell. And then the other position we were looking for was not the peso, the pound. But the pound pumped and dumped just this entire zone here. Yeah, possible shakeout for sells. I just stay ready for this one. Nothing. Chilling. What I'll do here is, for the sake of improvement, I'll walk you guys through why we took gold shorts yesterday and how everything lined up for it. So yesterday the buys played out of here, and then we had shorts. So I'll give you my take on why I was willing to still take a swing at gold here. So when you look at gold from the 4 hour, a couple things you're going to notice. One, right now, honestly, we're still in a pretty big range. Like we've mainly been consolidating for the last week or so. So a whole week of squeezing. A breakout out of here, and it looks normal, but when you zoom out, you'll see like, oh, okay, like we have been kind of confined. And one of the nice things you want to get in is, can you get into a pump like this, or can you get into a dump like we saw over here? So today being that day is possible, especially when the day starts really slow. It can be one of those types of days where at least you get a big move, breakout. So there's kind of a catalyst. A lot of the times you'll see these happen a whole week. Here's Tuesday to Tuesday. Here you get basically Wednesday London session to Thursday Asian session. Here we have squeezing from Friday's London session of last week. And is it going to happen now? So a week or so of squeezing with gold and just metals in general is pretty typical. Typically you get a liquidity, there's a liquidity grab first, and then the market can do its thing. So with that being said, we saw the market try to go higher here. It failed. Well, first here, didn't quite do it. Lost momentum. Then we end up getting lower lows. These lower lows, it just keep failing. So there's not a lot of demand over here, and there's definitely, it's giving a lot more possibilities that if we were to work our way down to here, it's probably not going to stay down here for very long. So I really like the buys on in this zone, but obviously we're not there yet. And then yesterday, we see this, right? So we had seen gold swept a whole bunch of liquidity here. So Wednesday's, May 20th's Asian session price action, and then it comes crashing down. So as soon as it comes up, it comes down, and this pushes the market down to here. So we fill the imbalance. It's bearish structure on the 15-minute. And then the hourly keeps failing to contain and maintain these highs. So when we work our way over to here again, and silver is also lagging way behind, so we see silver end up making higher highs. Gold is making lower highs, and it's positioned perfectly where we had that last push up and an order block. So I took the position right there, took a swing at the market, and here we are now. So now what we're seeing is in real time, we're getting a break below gold's London and Asian session lows, trading into Thursday's New York session. Meanwhile, that's happening. You have silver still holding these lows. So the divergence with silver is honestly really, really strong here. Consistently, silver is like, no, I'm staying up. So buys with silver, just based off of divergence, price action, from a narrative position, I understand that. Because this is holding significantly better than anything else. So yeah, I get the buys with silver. Does it have more like a different type of confirmation? Not quite, to be fair. Like, it doesn't have a strong confirmation right now. It just has like decent confirmations here. So is this an A+ setup? I would not say so. But can this do some damage? Can this make a move? Yeah. So like, I would take this with the proper accounts, a reduced risk, like a controlled risk half-hour situation, based on divergence, and then this here clearing liquidity. Like, I would understand that. Let me see here. I have 2 alerts just go off. One for NQ. NQ taking lows, beautiful. And then one with the pound, and that is pushing towards the trend line, so it didn't go in our favor. Okay. So with NASDAQ taking out liquidity, where does that bring the rest of the market? Not really at an entry anywhere. Okay, that's fine. So NQ liquidity sweep, gold liquidity right now sweeping. And then, okay, so could you argue that there's still, let's say, maybe a setup over here with gold? Could there be motive for market to reverse here? You see Thursday during New York session, you had a push below here to just like one last run, push down, lures in sellers. Here you get back to this imbalance and the market rallies. So is there incentive for reversals here? Sure. But would I buy gold? I mean, look at how much more aggressive gold is selling off here versus silver holding this level. So that's the reason that I mentioned taking a position with silver. So something like this, I don't think is a bad trade. I don't think it's an A+ trade though. So my risk would be accordingly. What do you guys think about all this? So again, I'm only taking this on the cup, and then I did go light risk with another account, but it's not like let me put my entire portfolio under risk with this trade. And the way that NAS just drops down, like, I think indices are still going to make one push down, and so that can 100% influence how metals keep moving too. All right, I'm going to go look at the chat here in a sec. Bad buys. Don't tell me you did it again. No. Like if I was trading NQ by myself. Oil daily looks like it's about to break out soon. Yeah. Yeah, YM mixed signals. Exactly. Got Swiss buys. It does require more discipline to stay out of the market. I took 3 trades this week, all on Thursday. NQ shakeout and profits if anyone took it. NQ shakeouts. I don't think I really caught that. Yeah, NQ shakeout definitely. What are you looking at a sell? Took these highs and then what? Took the entry here. Sold it. Yeah, I see the liquidity sweep. Yeah, I don't really know where to take it. I feel like we didn't really chop up enough to take anything here. But nice, dude. Nice. NQ with a deeper imbalance fill right now, making its way up. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so these are the kind of mornings where you can basically what you can do. Let's see. Basically, what you can do is set alerts at. If there's like no entries for you at all, and you just want to, I guess, respect your own time, then just place alerts at key areas. So, what would where would the market have to get to for you to be interested anyways in the market? Like to get a clear sign of an opportunity. Where would the market need to be for you? So like gold right now is just squeezing back and forth. There's not really a trade much in here. But if the market were to, let's say, break these highs, then all right, now I can look for buys maybe later. So there's one side. Okay, so if you were to get, what would start to qualify, what would start to form a buy position for you, so then you can kind of start to see it. You could even draw it for yourself so that you remember it. So this would be like, okay, yeah, if we were to break over to here, especially over to here, could this be a buy setup later? Maybe, right? Silver here, it's like, okay, well, if something else were to happen, would I get a buy setup here? Here you had a liquidity breakthrough as well. So all right, if we were to go from here, cool, like is there something going on over here? So let's see. All right. Same thing, so with anything, any asset. So oil, for example, right? We wanted oil to give us the proper setups for something like this. And we had the market sweep below, and this is maintaining structure really well. So, okay, the market working its way back down to here. Now I don't even need to do anything else here. I just have to let the alerts come in here, check in every once in a while just in case you miss out on an alert or something. And then that's it. Same thing with indices. You already know you're not like, chances are the market's not going to form a completely new setup right now. I could, but like it could always do anything. So know what you're waiting for exactly, and then you're able to just move forward. So markets did open up a little bit more on the bear side, or that's where they're sitting at now. So regarding profits with markets in general, going over to stocks really quick. Spotify with the big day announcing a lot of AI like things, so they know what they're doing. So if you were picking up Spotify here with me, just dollar cost averaging into this, then today was a big day, the last couple days. So big moves here, 25% day. That's fantastic. ENPH is one that we started to pick up last year, and all throughout, it was dollar cost average throughout basically the 36 to 30s. This is a solar play, and so it is up almost 100%. And of course, like that's not, you know, like I don't hit everything, guys. Like I'm down bad on Intuit right now, for example. But when you get a weekly breaker structure and then, you know, you get back down to here, it does get a lot easier for these. So this one's up somewhere near the 100% range if you took this with me. My target profit was here at 71 and change. And this would be just taking out liquidity and trading into these areas. But if you like where this is at right now, and then if, you know, be my guest, like take your gains. We've seen runs and rallies like this into this area before. So I don't think I'm going to wait for the target. I'm going to take my profit on this here today. So 64, 65, I'm going to call it a day. So if anyone is in this for any, you know, just by any chance, I don't know how many have this. I'm taking it. And then that just directly connects with solar. I think all of these solar plays have been pushing pretty well. Maybe not as well, but pretty well. SEDG. And yeah, 100% on this after holding for about a year, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, just about a year. So I'm cool with 100%. And then nothing else is really moving too much to the upside. On the downside, it's not too bad really, portfolio wide. Let's see, nothing's triggered my entry zones today, so I'd have to just double check through everything here. Let's see. Nah. Airbnb got really close to the exit, but missed by a little over here. All right, cool. So there's that. We have, all right, so yeah, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter session. There's not really much going on. There's more that can unfold later. And Q did another push down. So liquidity sweep on NAS. This took out, we can say, like just the last 90 minutes or so of liquidity. So is there a setup there? Not quite. Gold said, nah, I'm not done. We're still pushing lower. So nice moves way down here. There we go. Silver now breaking the low as well. Here we go. So trading down to here. Here was a big sell-off before. I don't have an entry for any of this, so I'm just kind of seeing what's what over here. There was a lot of liquidity building up, and then you had one last push down here before the market did its thing. So unless this is the motive behind reversals, it's just the last push down. That might be the case here. So typically these are some supercharged order blocks over here that could lead to some reversal, but yeah, I'm just kind of chilling. So cool, guys. If I see anything that I like, I'll go ahead and share in the school chat. Otherwise, it's a day where there's not really any reason to expose your account too much, you know. So yeah, guys, be smooth, stay responsible, use your intuition if you are gonna full port for this last day of the Tradeify Cup. I'll keep you guys posted on how it goes throughout the day, where I'm at about halfway through, and then how everything else unfolds here today. So I do need to go up a bit, a little short from this right now. Let's see. What? That's kind of weird. I guess I don't exist. I'm a magician. I'm just gone. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I'm not here yet. 12,250. See you soon. Alright, y'all. Enjoy. Have an amazing rest of your day. Love y'all. Don't forget to journal and document everything that you've done. If even do a recap, do a little reflection in our community, drop it in there. There's always insight. I won't be live on Monday for Memorial Day, and it's Mondo's birthday, so shoot Mondo a text. I have a happy birthday text on Monday. He's an integral part of all of Tradetopia, so you know, show some love for sure. A lot of you syndicate members have met him as well. You guys know the vibes. So yeah, guys, take care, enjoy, and I'll see you again on Tuesday. And remember, there will be a newsletter for me, so if you don't have one, in the description there's a link to it, and a whole bunch of other resources that you can take advantage of. So take care, y'all. Peace.